I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration that made ladies sing the blues. I'm the spark that makes your idea bright. The same spark that lights the dark so that you can know your left from your right. I am the ballad in your box, the bullet in the gun, the inner glow that let you know to call your brother son. The story that just begun, the promise of what's to come. And I'ma remain a soldier till the war is won. Chop, chop, chop. You gon' flip. Chop, chop, chop. You gon' flip. Chop, chop, chop. You gon' flip. Chop, chop, chop.
Welcome to the Immaculate Negro podcast, episode 13. And as you can tell from the title, we're going to be talking about right and wrong today. Now, I don't mean to get too philosophical or ethical in this discussion, but I always think things like this are worth talking about. It's something interesting to think about in terms of what is right and wrong, who decides right and wrong. So it's not so much that I have the answers, but I want to just begin a discussion and see how everybody feels about the idea of right and wrong. So we all already know that it is extremely subjective. Who is to decide what is right and what is wrong? It is all such a matter of perspective and circumstance and situation. To be right means to be morally good, to be justified or accepted in terms of your action as society sees it. To be wrong is to be immoral or unethical, especially in principles, practices, or conduct contrary to justice, goodness, equity, or law. So those are, I guess, textbook definitions of right and wrong, just to have a starting point. So I feel like an obvious and easy way to decide if something is right or if it is wrong is whether or not it brings harm to people, whether or not it harms somebody as opposed to helping or being beneficial, or whether the action perpetuates good as opposed to evil. It's really clear when you divide it like that, when you make right synonymous with good and wrong synonymous with evil, but it's not that black and white, right? It can't be just that simple, because there's so many circumstances that create such a gray area. For example, if you do the wrong thing, but you are justified in that wrong action, does it now make it right? And to answer that question, I don't believe it does. So I was talking to my friend the other day, and we had an interesting discussion about this right and wrong. And I like the way he put it in terms of humanity and the moral compass everybody has. We all go through our everyday life being guided by our moral compass. For the most part, we're balanced. It's balanced. Like the idea of yin and yang, it's balanced. The majority of us are not just inherently evil to a large degree or inherently good to a large degree. We are just balanced. And we go through day to day making decisions based on that moral compass, whether it leans towards a good action or whether it leans slightly towards a bad action. This is just the free will of humanity. We have the equal propensity to be good and bad. We get to decide whatever it is we want to do. So being guided by that compass, there comes a time where whatever situation you're put into. So just to give an example, let's say somebody killed your best friend. I know it's extremely dramatic, but let's just for the sake of this argument, because you have to look at it dramatically to really see it, right? Let's say somebody killed your best friend. And now here you are, you have the opportunity to take revenge. Regardless of whether you're gonna get caught afterwards, let's say you make it out, let's say you get away with it, all that is irrelevant. In this moment, you can take revenge. And all you feel is justified, because this is the person that took somebody you love away from you. So how can you not feel justified in this act? How can somebody look at you and tell you what you're about to do is wrong when you believe that person deserves it? When you believe that they don't deserve to live, or they don't deserve to be free, they don't deserve any of the goodness that this world has in it anymore, and you want to be the one to finish them. So in that moment, are you right or are you wrong? And I mean, maybe it's not that complicated for some people, but some people, you can't tell them they're wrong in that situation. And who are you? Like, who are we to really say somebody is wrong in that situation? But then we can think about the old saying of an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. We can think about the fact that just because you feel justified, just because you feel this emotion, just because you know in your heart that this feels like the right thing to do, it does not make it right. It does not make it okay. And it really isn't justifiable. Because even though you deserve revenge or you deserve peace, that person still does not deserve to die. It will always be wrong, at least in my opinion. Like, this is where the discussion, I guess, can really start. In my opinion, it will always be wrong to take a life, regardless of the circumstance. But because we have that moral compass guiding us, in this moment, as wrong as it may be, even though this moral compass is shifting towards bad or towards evil or towards doing harm to somebody, the fact that we feel justified in this action allows us to carry it out anyway. Morally, it may be wrong, but we still believe we are right. We still believe we are justified. So then what is the answer? Is it that wrong is wrong regardless of everything else? Or there is still a situation where I guess the ends justify the means, or the means justify the ends, whichever way you want to look at it. There's still a situation that if you kill somebody for the right reason, that right reason outweighs the act of you killing somebody. And it's like, damn, really? I don't know. I really do not know. The whole idea of right and wrong is a lot. It's a lot to really think about. And especially as it relates to humanity, because we can be just as right as we can be wrong. We can be just as good as we can be evil. But I guess I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic when it comes to humanity and the goodness of man. Because if all things remain equal, if you take away what really, I guess, separates us in terms of upbringing, beliefs, perspectives, all of those things, if all things remain equal, I feel as though, and it's a weird feeling, but I feel as though people and human beings and entities in general of existence, like I want to, I guess, include animals in that, you can you can feel when something is right. Like, you can feel when something is wrong. And maybe it's just an arbitrary feeling that really doesn't mean anything. It's just a feeling based on your experiences in life that allow you to have this feeling based on the circumstance that you're going through. But I also think that people can just feel it. You know when you're doing the wrong thing. You know when you're doing the right thing. And it's a base level feeling that can resonate through all people. The general idea of rightness or righteousness, I believe it exists. There is an idea, a base level that, look, this, whatever I'm doing, it is not bringing harm to anybody, so how can it not be right, or how can it not be just? And the opposite is also true. Like, this is literally doing nothing but hurting people, so how can this not be wrong? Like, this has to be wrong. But I guess I could really ramble about this forever, but bottom line is, although there is nuance to it, given the free will of humanity, there is an overarching idea of right. There has to be. Well, I believe there is anyway. There is this idea of justice and righteousness that everybody feels, that we all follow, I guess. I don't know, but that's just how I feel. Thank you. God bless.